Testing. Hello and good morning. Hello and good morning. Good morning, wherever you're watching this. Yes. It's Thursday. Today is a Thursday, right? Yeah. Amazing. At least today I did not struggle with the system. At least system today was good. I don't know what is really happening because I even don't know what really happened yesterday because I really was very burned. Even I could not even last live here for at least an hour. But today we are back. So ensure that first of all you click that like button right now. Ensure that you click that button right now. Click the right button right now. Ensure that you do that right now as we proceed on this. Now, before now we jump to the gold, because I have some news that I really want to break and what I'm going to do on the gold side. Let us check on what really happened, because yesterday, look at our entry on how actually was just doing here. Remember, I told you already yesterday that this market is absolutely going to sell here. So this was when actually the base market, I don't know, it's actually here when this market actually was trying to move up here, and I exactly told you that this market is not done on going towards the downside. And you can see the market is down, and the market has really dropped so hard. This is USD JPY. Remember, we actually been following the USD JPY for very long now, and it has already touched around 150.5. now we have this rise, but this does not really mean that it's actually going to be up, but you can actually check this big move that is actually happening here. So if even you draw a trend line on the USD JPY, you actually notice something very interesting that is actually happening to this market here, and this is very simple, and that's how this market is absolutely moving, unless probably we get a break towards the upper side. But just look at this is how this market is absolutely moving, and that's how you can see there's another reaction that is actually happening at these zones for this USD JPY here. Look at this is a reaction that is absolutely happening here, and this is not just a simple, it's just a simple one. And you can see this kind of after being created here we have 151, but actually when we have this market to come to is around maybe 15900. So this area plays a very key vital area for this market now to try and move on this side. But at least you might experience something that is called probably a force breakout that can actually last all the way to this zone. So you actually have to be careful on that, because some people actually might jump to the market thinking that this market, what is going to do is going to, like, when it crosses this trend line here, is absolutely going to be moving up like that. Remember, this market can actually come here just to test this high here, and then we absolutely start moving down. Remember, on a high note, we actually been focusing this region here, which is around slightly below 150, slightly below 150. That is the area that we have been focusing on, and still I think that market might actually be ending up there. But it's actually going to depend on this candle whether you're going to get a break here, because already we have been close to that, which is around 150 500. But remember, we have come all the way from this market, from this corner here, which is around 152 574. That was our first sell that I placed here, around here. Actually it was here, then this market achieved this corner here, market touched here, moved back here. I told you to sell here again, and you can see selling here, it actually approached this area here. I told you to sell here, and the market, just look at how this market did and moved all the way down here, and that is what we actually been waiting. So for those who have like long-term entries in terms of the USD JPY, I think you can assist at this moment, and you could have actually assisted this area if you could have actually spotted those trend lines. The reason being is because, you know, we might actually be having this market probably breaking out on the upper side, because really it has actually accomplished something that is interesting from that. So that is the USD JPY that we have been moving with. We have been trading it for a long time, so you will forgive my voice because I'm not feeling well, but I'm trying, okay, I'm trying. I'm not feeling good, but at least today we will try to have some setup. Yeah, it's just the same thing. You can see there's a reaction here, and likelihood either to move to this point here all the way to 151 370 and this zone here. So we have two different areas that we really have to break, which is another one which is absolutely created around this area, a testing point. So those are areas that this market is actually going to react again next. So that is the importance actually of moving with currency. Like, we move with it step by step. We move the currency step by step. Every day you check it, every day you trend it, every day you check what is really happening. Okay, so that has been the USD JPY trading long. We check more on this. I'll give you the probability of what I'm going to be doing on this, and you on my screen here you can see I have USD JPY, the account that I've been trading. I'm waiting for 30. That is my TP. So once this market hit 42.30, it will close automatically, and then I'm going to open a short position that is going to last long. Okay, we are going to gold right now. We are going to the gold right now. We are about to go to the gold. Let's just wait for the gold. It's actually going to close. Look at that. Gold is about to close. That a boom. TP hit. TP hit. Now we focus. Now we focus on another big move that is going. Everything is okay. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now that is what we really have here, which is the USD JPY. You can see the reaction; it is really happening. But I'm telling you that there can actually be a reaction. You see this point here, which is around 159. Actually, the market is actually going to react from that. That is what is indeed going to be happening, and from that market, I want us to check gold. So because I want to have a very long entry. Yesterday we entered the market absolutely in this area here. We drew exactly this point, and you can see the market has been testing this region for many times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 times. The market jumped here and we got something just like that, which is very simple here. Now where is the likelihood for this market to move? Number one, we actually going to test this region, of which now we're not going to sell until we get to this little high that we didn't got here, which is around 40, because now we are talking about 42, that one. So I'm going to wait for this market to come to that 140, then we just give it a credit probably of 42.60. But now from this point on here, I'm going to have the sales that are really going to be happening from this market, and I'm going to sell all the way from when this market actually touches this, and I'm going to have this long entry, probably to 50, or let me put 50 here. Yeah, I'm going to plan and have a long entry, that is a sell positions that I'm going to open when this market actually start moving beyond this. But I think this market is absolutely going to test this. As you can see, it is rising. It has already completed this, which was actually another zone that we could have actually checked from this, because you can see now the market is reacting from that and is actually going to test this. So once this market tests this region here, there's now likelihood for this market to break all the way through. But after that, then I'll be looking for where actually to have a long-term entry that is indeed going to be happening to this market. I'm looking for a long-term entry. What does it mean? That I'm going actually to be focusing on this market a long-term entry. That means I'm going to be focusing big move towards downside, and that is what I'm going to be doing here. So once this market start achieving 42.50, I know that is the place that I'm going to do my thing. That is where I'm going to have so long entries of sales positions that I'm going to take from this side of gold, because I believe anytime from now the market can actually reverse and do very big moves. So absolutely, number one, I'm going to use smaller sizes here as I scale influence as the market proceeds to move up anytime from now. So I can start even with a low size of 0.02 as the market actually start moving up, and I'm going to give it credit just like that. This position are actually going to last probably in the next 14 days, or maybe towards the end of this month, and I think that is why I'm going to be holding this. So but for now, this market is going to move to this point here, which is here, actually. This is 34, that is 34. So this market is going to move up just like that. So it's actually going to test this region that we see here. So once it tests that region, then we're actually going to test here. You see this area here around that 42.40, that is the zone that we are going to test there. So once we get that point, then there's likelihood for this market to react from that point again. Now, without forgetting this one that I wanted to really to share on this live is that we got some news this morning around 9 a.m., which is for the Audi unemployment change. And for this unemployment change of Audi, I would rate, you can see it actually down. And for those who are doing the Australian dollar, you can absolutely check that. But for the non-farm employment change, that is NFP, is actually on 23rd. That is next week. For the NFP is actually coming next week on 23rd. That is when it actually been scheduled. So we actually be following on that because this data is very. Now, have you seen the move that I was talking about? That is the move where the market actually was to test here. So in other ones, giving you those small moves here is just like a sniper entry. But so already the market now are testing that. Or if you go, for example, in 1 hour time frame, you are going to see that like something like this. Yeah, where the market actually touched this, which is around 440, and already the market has touched 550. So those are 10 pips, and that is where I can actually get in and just scalp from the market. And that's how actually I can do, especially when it comes now to scalping. Those are kind of things that I normally do when I'm actually scalping. So there's another opportunity here because when this market touches here, the reason I was analyzing the Euro USD is because I realized on the highest time frame is actually going down, and when we actually consider the small, so I'm interested in that one. Yeah, so that's my focus. Another one here. So when we actually start now in terms of scalping, you can see this region that I normally highlight how important they are in terms of how the market normally reacted to those zones, like this one. Here the market has tested this, so those are kind of things that you can actually do very fast and see how the market normally is. In terms of the gold, you can see how it's indeed doing. We are waiting to see higher prices accumulating higher than here. I want to see, or want to show you something on the highest time frame. We can see, you can see one thing is that we are on the extreme level, especially for the weekly time frame. Yeah, because when you actually look this in terms of weekly time frames, you realize that for the past few weeks, I think, almost how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For the past 9 weeks, the market actually been shooting high without going back. And we have this big move that is actually happening here, and you can see we are actually on the extreme level of 85. We are actually on the extreme level of 85. We and achieved this 84 before, but the market went down. We had achieved a level of 85 again here. Market went down. Another one of 85 here. So that means we are in that zone where this market actually can just reverse anytime. And that's why once I get 50s here, I can actually start trading from this market, because I realize once we get to 40, 50s there, then we can actually get this market moving down. And I'm going to be using the small lot size here to actually enter this market, especially now we are in 30s. I can actually have small entries starting from 0.01, and that is where I'm going to start, starting from 0.01 as the market moves. And remember, this actually, I can, in case the market delays to move or to move down, how I'm expecting it to move, I can just give it time, probably to the next few almost to the end. So remember, we are already at the half of the month. So this, with this month actually we have made a lot of money, and I can just hold this to the end and decide, you know what, let me hold this to the end of the month, and there's no problem with that. I'm going to have a long term one. So a sale that is actually going to last long. And probably this is actually going to last it to move or even below 30. So 4,000, I mean. I can actually hold this below 4,000. But that is just an investment that I'm planning and I'm actually going to execute it. Okay. Another one which is moving here is let me check the USD JPY. For those who want to be checking this, we'll be checking multiple currencies today and see what the reaction on how the market is moving. I can see it is actually moving up so nicely after this big move that we see here. Still, the market after this downside here. Let's see on the highest time frame. I want to start on time frames. I don't trust lower time frames. Don't trust lower time frames. I don't know why I don't like GBP USD, because most of the time can give you some mixed signals, and unless you get quite good thing, unless you get a quite best entry there. Okay, this move, is the market moving this way really? I'm interested. Yeah, but this is not confirmed, so that is not valid. That is wrong. That is wrong. But this one, it seems the market is moving. But most of time, I want to check the relationship between USD. Let's check. So it's important. USD JPY. If the relationship is actually 80% or 75%, then there is likelihood for that market to move to same direction. So this is GBP USD. So this is GBP USD. I'm looking for Euro USD. Euro USD is here. So the relationship is 70-80%. So if you don't get things correct, then actually you can go to Euro USD. Absolutely, the XAUUSD going to be moving the same direction. So that is it. So without even checking on this, we can analyze Euro USD and just determine how the market is actually going to be moving this. So with that move we got from the Euro USD here, that on the long time this market is absolutely going to move down after touching this point that we have here, probably to the lowest here of 1.15. The same thing that is actually most going to move to the GBP JPY here. It's the same thing, because you can see as well it is absolutely moving down in this manner after failing to test this region here. You can see it absolutely moving down. The likelihood for this to test another one at 3.740, a sell that can actually happen anytime. So that is GBP USD. So a likelihood of sell that can actually happen here. So the relationship between the Euro USD and GBP USD, USD JPY is that now the GBP USD JPY can actually be buying towards the upper side, because we end up very crazy drop that actually happened to this market. That's how these correlationships can actually help you now to know where to have those entries in case maybe you lose the track, in case now you lose the track. Yeah, so that's my plan for those currencies, long term and short term. For the gold, for the currencies, I'm still looking for these entries. I'm as well going to be looking different currencies. You can see this is actually testing this region again of 450. This likelihood probably is going to break this again because we have already tested this. And I think when it actually be testing this, there's let's see whether there's likelihood for testing this, but actually it's going to be very hard. Let's see. Let's see what is going to be happening here. You can see it's actually very hard for that market. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's now going to break that zone anytime because already we have moved up to the level that we were expecting. So we don't really expect those prices to either accumulate here and move up again. It's been an hour already. We have tested the first time just like that. The market moved. Now let's see what is really going to be happening from now this market. And those are going to be my observation today and tomorrow. So next week we're actually going to be doing this better. I'm going to be observing gold. I'm going to be giving out signals for that. All right. So there's a video that is coming up for beginners in forex trading. Ensure that you check that. Be right here. So actually be right here. And because I'm not feeling well today and I'm not in mood, so I'll see you again tomorrow in a better way. I soon do that. This market is actually going to break this. Do you see? You see that? It's actually going to break and come here. That is what actually has happened here. Exactly. Do you see what? This is what actually happened. That's actually happened here. Just you can even scroll down to video. You see? This is what I was talking about. That this market is actually going to test this region. Every region that I normally draw, you normally expect the market actually to touch it like this one. Just look at what has actually happened here. The market is now trying to move on the upper side, but that does not really give you like a go ahead to now start buying from this market. Is going to move up, you know. But at least now you can see what is really happening here is that this market broke out this and went all the way to this zone that we are talking about here, 376, and went back all the way to 200, another 20 pips down. So that's crazy. You can see it has already touched that region and went back. That is what you really expect. You see, it's very simple. How to actually, I think I might actually be going back to scalping. I want to create another small account for scalping 0.01, 0.5, but you cannot scalp with the small lot. Actually, you need a bigger lot size like 0.51, so that when you make this big move here, you get 10 pip, 20 pip maximum, and then you're going to go. You're good to go. Then you're good to go. So yeah, I'm expecting these prices of the gold to break to 140. That is the price I'm waiting for. When this market to actually be breaking those zones towards the upper side, and I know that is actually going to be so much interesting. Where are we now? Gonde Scratch seeing, I'm expecting to see a reaction when this market comes to 41, and that is where actually going. You can see the momentum to move up is already dimming, and I'm waiting to see this prices coming to 40, 240 here. I place a short-term sell, That is actually going to be part of scalping. But in case the prices start shooting all the way up there, then I don't have any problem. Maybe I'm going to give it time and I reduce some positions there as I wait for the market to do its thing. I'm waiting for these prices to come here. I'm waiting to sell here.